at a bowling alley and a bar and grill.
I've heard people that have family members in there. There was a girl down there with 5 people, all got shot up. And they're like frantic.
Now, it's not clear how many people were killed. Numbers range from 15 to 22, with dozens more injured. People are told to stay indoors. The suspected shooter is Robert Card, a military reservist and firearms instructor who had mental health issues. His car has been found in
a very wooded area just outside of that Lisbon community. A very challenging terrain for investigators as they continue searching today. The shelter-in-place advisory, school closings have expanded into the community of Bowdoin. This is relevant because that is Card's residence.
Fox's Molly Line in Lewiston. Israel's up the number of hostages Hamas is holding in Gaza. 224. Israeli forces crossed the border briefly overnight.
The militants inside Gaza are still firing in these communities here along the Gaza border. And so the Israelis are concerned when they do launch a larger ground offensive into Gaza that they'll be ambushed. They'll be hit right away.
Right.
And so they're clearing that path, working to destroy any of the cells along the border.
Fox's Trey Yingst in southern Israel. Palestinians report more than 7,000 people have been killed in those Israeli strikes. The day after Republicans finally elected a House Speaker, Mike Johnson. Fox's Jill Nato reports a Democrat's turned himself in to face a misdemeanor charge.
Congressman Jamal Bowman of New York says he had a lapse in judgment last month, that he was rushing to get to a vote when he tripped a fire alarm. It happened as House lawmakers were struggling to avoid a government shutdown. He could have been facing up to 6 months in jail, but Bowman now says he'll pay a $1,000 fine and
in 3 months, as long as I stay out of trouble, the case will be dismissed.
America's listening to Fox News.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
What's up?
I'm tired of feeling so bloated.
That used to be me. Then I got this.
Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion. A probiotic, right?
Yeah, it works naturally with your gut to help soothe occasional bloating and gas. Plus, it has vitamin B12 to aid digestion by helping convert food to cellular energy. 2 benefits, 1 capsule.
Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion from the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Learn more at alignprobiotics.com.
Jesse Kelly here. Do you feel protected? My personal protection plan is owning gold. The Oxford Gold Group helps you buy gold to have on hand or convert it into your 401k. If things get weird, I have gold on hand. I like that. You can buy coins or convert part of your 401k with the Oxford Gold Group. It's easy and safe. 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD. 833-995-GOLD.
For a second day, former President Trump stared down his ex-lawyer turned enemy Michael Cohen, who testified again in the state of New York's civil trial against the Trump Organization. The judge in that case has already ruled the company committed fraud. The former president denies that and calls the case rigged and a witch hunt, saying this about Cohen outside the court.
We are doing very well. The facts are speaking very loud. And he's a totally discredited witness, and you haven't seen anything yet.
Well, the former president's been fined again for saying too much, violating a gag order.
Judge Arthur Engoron imposed a $10,000 fine on the former president for a similar violation to one discovered last week. The defendant is barred from disparaging court staff. That includes the judge. Outside court on a break, former President Trump referred to Judge Engoron as very partisan and referred to his clerk as perhaps more partisan. Last week, former President Trump's post critical of a law clerk brought a $5,000 fine. Judge Engoron called the defendant to the stand to question him about the statement before imposing that new fine. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Auto workers may no longer picket Ford plants. The unions worked out a tentative new contract with Ford. UAW leader Sean Fain tells members,
if the council votes to approve the agreement, then that evening we will be hosting a special Facebook Live with all of you to go through the deal in detail.
Now, the deal tentatively would include a 25% general wage increase for auto workers at Ford and then inflation-adjusted increases. But the strike continues against GM and Stellantis, a 42nd day. On Wall Street, stock futures are falling before the opening bell next hour. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Governor Pritzker proposing a plan to create a new state agency to house all early childhood programs and funding. The new unified agency designed to provide a more equitable, integrated, and holistic system of services for young children and families in the state of Illinois. Illinois Democrats looking to extend a controversial private school tax credit. House Democrats introduced a bill that would extend the Invest in Kids program by another 5 years. Program offers a 75% income tax credit to individuals and businesses that contribute to qualified scholarship granting organizations. Illinois Attorney General, part of a coalition of more than 30 states, that's suing the company that owns and operates Facebook and Instagram. Lawsuit accuses Meta of harmful business practices targeting children. Coalition says Meta designed its social media platforms to include features that exploit young users' psychological vulnerabilities, all to keep them using them longer. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Yeah, thank you, Jim. Hey, good morning. It is October 26th is my guess. Is that right?
I'm thinking so.
Okay, so yeah, do you have any idea the date?
Yes, it's the 26th.
Okay, because we have no
it's more
calendar.
It's more like August 20.
Well, I know. I was
now.
thinking, I could be. I know. People like to change the season. I could do okay with this. This is really nice. It's not hard.
Right.
It's our meteorologist, Greg Sawyer. There's Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie Jay. The weather brought to you by Carl.
Carl reminds you they're always looking for new members of the team. They are hiring. You can learn more at carl.org.
Okay, Greg Sawyer. The foot is dropping sometime, I think, Friday night, late Saturday or early Saturday.
Yeah, that's almost what we say in the old agricultural livestock side. The other boot end or hoof's going to drop around here. And let's say if we were to take a look at 62-degree readings at Willard and Savoy right now, and take a look at the lows here, both Tuesday, Wednesday morning of next week. About 40 degrees colder, I think, would be a good average estimate. So yeah, changes are coming, and if you want current snow totals up towards Devil's Lake, North Dakota, Minot, 5 to 9 inches of the white stuff on the ground. They're currently ranging into the upper teens and 20s. They'll be close to zero up in the upper Midwest, northern plains over that snow cover over the course of the weekend. Not that cold here, certainly a late November feel, but next week, gradual slow moderation. The following week, even better and a drier trend as well. So hang in there with some field work delays here over the next probably 10 days to 2 weeks. The rain on the radar, but it's over the northwestern end of the state. Showers back through Missouri. Late in the morning, there may be a stray shower around. Better chance this afternoon. 76 the high. Normal high this time of the year, it's about 61. Gusty south wind. 65 on the overnight low tonight. Occasional showers early and late. Tomorrow, windy, still warm. Highs of 75, maybe close to 80 south of Champaign County. A couple of showers and thunderstorms around in the morning. Better likelihood tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. Temperatures crash to 45, maybe up to 56, and some shower activity breaks out late Saturday. More rain Saturday night into Sunday. We're stuck in the 40s on Sunday. Highs only in the 40s Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Maybe a shower Monday afternoon. A snowflake, then a sprinkle Tuesday at 43, and we'll begin to pull out of it with readings by late next week between 55 and 60. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
We've watched some of the staff here, the doctors, the surgeons, the nurses coming out, sometimes being escorted by the law enforcement that has surrounded this building with their long guns, helping those folks get to their cars this evening. We've seen the occasional embrace before they head off for wherever they're headed for the rest of what has certainly been a very, very rough evening at this trauma center in Lewiston, dealing with the aftermath of all of this. Everything began to unfold at 6:56. Lewiston police responding to the two shooting incidents, one at a bowling alley and one at a bar.
Across the state of Maine, police are still searching for Robert Card, named as a person of interest in Wednesday night's mass shootings in the town of Lewiston. State Public Safety Commissioner Mike Sawchuk says he's armed and he's dangerous.
We have literally hundreds of police officers working around the state of Maine to investigate this case, to locate Mr. Card.
Police also say Card had recently undergone mental health treatment and is a firearms instructor. Pictures from security cameras show a gunman carrying an AR-style rifle. Eben Brown, Fox News.
Retired New York Police Department Lieutenant Commander, our friend Joe Cardinale. Joe, I don't know. I mean, it's a frequent event in America. What to do about it is the other issue, but what do you take from last night, what you've heard this morning, Joe?
This is an extremely dangerous individual. All right, he is well versed in the use of that weapon. Mind-boggling thing is how he still was able to have that weapon. That's a topic for another day. But think about what's going on right now. There's a massive manhunt once again for somebody who, the gun is in the wrong hands. And that's basically what it boils down to.
Okay, so he had 2 weeks in a mental institution, threatened to shoot up his own Army Reserve unit, I guess. He instructs people on the use of guns. He's obviously not concerned about being identified mentally ill. You say that I'm surprised he still has a gun. I mean, even if people come take your guns, don't you hide guns?
I mean, you could, but the thing is, if you can account for at least the ones that they know about, that's one thing. But that would actually put them on the radar a little more with local police, and see what's going on. I mean, you cannot monitor somebody 24/7 to see what they're potentially going to do. All right. But, the people that are closest to this individual would know what he was saying, what he was going to do. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he was a loner, and that's the worst case scenario, is that as a loner, and he didn't profess this to anybody. All right. So that's the other side of the coin right now. But either way, we have a very dangerous individual on the run who planned this and planned it well for his escape and everything. He knew where he was going. We don't. The only thing, we have the numbers in our favor as far as people looking for him. He's got the advantage of knowing where he was going, where he's going to, and what he may do next. All right, that's the downside to this.
Well, he's got all kinds of skill. It could be a while. A lot of woods up in Maine, places to hide, and rivers and boats and waters and everything else. So, yeah, it's just heartbreaking. Is there anything, because I always try and fix things, I don't know what to do with this, Joe. How do you got 500 million guns in America, so taking guns away from the good guys doesn't solve this. What is the solution to this horrible epidemic?
I mean, once again, it's who has the guns. Just to say a ban on guns is going to stop it, and that's what the radicals are going to say, and it's the wrong thing to say. I mean, because a lot of people up in Maine are armed right now, and it's a good thing they are, because if you listen to the interviews, they're armed in their homes, securing their homes and saying, I'm armed, and people are saying it on TV, I'm armed, I'm in my house, and I'm prepared, to do what I have to do. It's not only it's across many stations I've watched. All right, so it's something that, it's an individual town thing that has to be done. Maine raised their red flag laws already. All right, maybe they have to readdress it. And we always do this in every state across the nation. Every time something happens, they say, well, what can we do? And you have to do something, that's normal. You can't go to the extremes and take it out on everybody else. So.
Yeah, Lewiston, Maine is not very big. It's about the size of our Urbana, Illinois, about 37,000 people. They got 82 police officers sworn in. That's not very many. And again, they got FBI. They got hundreds of people helping. But, Joe, what do the police do? I mean, how long does this go on? And what if you can't find him?
Well, they'll find him. He's going to make himself known one way or the other. Or if he's in hiding, they'll still find him eventually, but it's just a question of what they're going to do with him, to find him. And like I said, if he's a loner and they have the, they have somebody they can speak to that can put a rhyme or reason to why he did this, and you can start looking in the direction you need to look. But the fact that he left he left the car in a location that would suggest that maybe there was a boat he used to get into the woods or something, you don't know. He knows the area. The local police know the area. We don't. We're speculating on our end of it, but we do know, like you just said, it's the same old with a crazy going out there and, killing and wounding innocent people. And how do you stop it? I mean, you have to, one thing is they do have to address the mental health issues in this country, and they have to tell these doctors that think they're protecting their patients that they do need to put them on the radar a lot sooner than finding out this way.
Well, we've got to have law and order. If we don't have a set of rules we all agree to, that's another issue we're going to talk about today, about bail, no bail, and all these other things. Crime is a huge problem, Joe. I doubt if you miss working in New York City with the way it's been going.
I do miss it. I miss the camaraderie and everything. I don't miss what these cops are going through right now. I'm actually on my way to the studio right now, and I'm on the train heading into the city. And I'll do my little walk and see, what's changed from where the homeless are living from one corner to the next. Who's shooting up on the south corner instead of the north corner today. These are the things you look for when you walk through New York City.
Yeah.
So,
Commander, it's always a pleasure, Joe. We appreciate you. Thanks for being on always.
Take care, my friend. I will speak to you soon.
Too. Thank you. Retired New York Police Department Lieutenant Commander Joe Cardinale is a frequent guest. All right, quarter after ESPN 93.5, we jump to some sports headlines this morning. Diane Ducey has the very latest.
Morning, Stevie. NFL action will have Tampa Bay at Buffalo tonight, and Dusty Baker's decided to retire.
Yeah, and there's been a little bit of, really, maybe 70 what? How old is he?
74.
Yeah, pretty old, but, you know, I guess it was, he came into Houston when they were a tattered mess, gave his credibility to the Astros to try and get the booing to slow down.
Right.
Won a World Series with them, got to the championship ALCS this year. Would somebody say, hey, yo, Dusty, you can have your own general manager. You can kind of pick your guys, because he didn't have his guys down in Houston.
Okay.
So would Dusty possibly come back with the right scenario? Is he risking something? He's 74. He's had a heck of a career.
2,183 wins.
Obviously, just give him a pack of toothpicks. Tell him he can pick his people.
That's right.
Maybe he'll come back.
A friend of Hank Aaron. Been in baseball since 1967, known for his work with the San Francisco Giants, the Cubs, the Reds, and the Nationals.
I remember Dusty very well in the 70s. Good player. He was a good hitter, good player. And, yeah, I remember him with the Giants most vividly. But, no, he's been a very successful player and manager. So
absolutely. Oklahoma City over the Chicago Bulls 124-104. Iowa with 8 points, an assist, and a steal as we get out of the gate and start the season. We'll have the 76ers at Milwaukee to face the Bucks at 6:30 tonight. Pacers beat Washington 143-120. Also, we're looking at Illinois basketball in action against Kansas at 5 o'clock on Sunday. That Maui Strong game. I believe it's $40 for the tickets. They've got that
40 up high.
I mean, okay.
Lower bowl is like 175.
I see.
Fundraiser.
Yes, that's right. And, of course, we're looking forward to hockey, St. Louis Blues at Calgary tonight at 8 o'clock. A tight one, a 5-set thriller as Illinois beat Indiana in Huff Hall. In volleyball yesterday, 11-10 on the season, 6-5 in the Big Ten. Raina Terry with 16 kills in that game. Saturday at Huff Hall, they'll face Purdue, as we say, go Illini.
All right, so we got football coming up on Saturday. Brett Bielema, I'm sorry, a week from Saturday. It's a week from Saturday. They're doing all their things that they do for the off weeks to get healthy. The appeal for Johnny turned down. He'll sit out the first half. Minnesota. It was an NCAA appeal. So Brett Bielema was on the phone with him, I think, yesterday, night before. Anyway, yeah, he disappointed. Didn't talk a lot about it.
That's right.
Little that comment. What are you going to do? He says, I can see how they called it. I tried to talk about the hands. He said Johnny wasn't trying to hurt anybody. It's a bang, bang play, all that. So anyway, it's, so we'll be without Johnny Newton in the first half of Minnesota a week from Saturday.
Okay. And, of course, we're looking forward to Sunday having New Orleans Saints in Indianapolis to face the Colts. Minnesota's at Green Bay on Sunday at noon, too. And the Sunday night game will be the Bears in L.A.
Oh, boy. Okay. We'll be right back. We'll check the latest. Again, going to change a little bit after tomorrow. So Saturday, you're going to wake up and say, what happened? What happened?
Well, again, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign about and vicinity, and this delightfully mild to warm, unusual October weather pattern continues on, and with that significant rainfall heading towards the upcoming weekend and a big drop in temperatures as well. We'll keep it largely chilly to cold here for much of next week, but a drier trend, then moderation in temperatures thereafter. Windy and warm for Thursday, considerable cloudiness up to 76 and a couple of late morning and afternoon showers around. South wind will be gusty, breezy, mild tonight. Occasional showers early and late, low down to 65. Windy, continued and seasonably warm for the day tomorrow with a couple of showers and thunderstorms morning and more so in the afternoon. Highs between 75 and maybe 80 south of Champaign County, and a south wind turns much colder with evening showers tomorrow night. A thunderstorm early, low down to 45. And showers are back in for Saturday afternoon. The high just 56. Will be in the 40s much of Sunday with rain and even a snowflake come Tuesday morning with cold weather into early next week with highs in the 40s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Stolye.
Did he said snowflake?
No.
He just said snowflake. He said snowflake.
Don't use that four-letter word.
Preservation, generation. At Busey Bank, these are the principles we use to build meaningful financial partnerships with our clients and their families. With sound advice and vast resources, partner with Busey for a personalized approach to your legacy. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth. since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Southwest Airlines is seeing travel demand returning to normal levels, a sign that revenge travel may be fading. Though the airline says overall travel demand remains stable, Southwest's earnings matched forecasts for the summer quarter, but are down from a year ago. Southwest shares are lower. Ford shares are higher after Ford and the UAW reached a tentative agreement that could bring an end to the 6-week strike. Dan Ives at Wedbush Securities says the 25% increase in pay over the 4.5 years of the contract is digestible and doesn't ruin Ford's business model. Ford workers are returning to work immediately as plants go back online while the ratification process is underway. And drug giant Merck is upbeat about this year after its earnings top predictions. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosolda, invested in you.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hands.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
5 inches of rain by tomorrow.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com.
Well, if you're trying to sell your home, Nate Evans is consistently evaluating investing in cutting-edge technology and marketing to sell the best homes for the most money. That's what they do. And here to tell you, there's something you have control over in a strange market, and that's who you pick for your real estate agent. Nate Evans is there for those unexpected times in your life when you need to sell your home or just decide to sell your home.
Yeah, and you don't want to give it away. You don't want to leave any money on the table. It's pretty cool that I was just poking around. If you're ready to sell your home, you want to start by knowing its true value, and knowing that New Home Value Estimator is a free, easy way to get the ball rolling. It's a game changer for sellers, giving them information they need and making smart decisions. Just go to Nate Evans Group and click the Get Home Value button and find out from a friend you can trust who's been in this market for a long time, and just get the ball rolling. Just call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. It's Nate Evans at 217-239-7113, or do an online search to Nate Evans Group to start packing.
During challenging times, family and health come first. This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. Many of us have spent the past year feeling a little bit out of control. There are steps you can take to help plan for a better financial future. Now is the time to take action and create a financial plan that's right for you. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Jay Lehman here, former U of I All-American linebacker. Do you like steak? Do you like red meat? Well, if you do, you got to check out Long Branch Steakhouse. They had phenomenal steaks, sides, salads. I love the onion rings and the fried mushrooms as well as the fried pickles. You've got to check out Long Branch Steakhouse in beautiful downtown Gifford. That's right, make the trip to Gifford for some of the best steaks you'll have. Kids love it too. I brought my whole family. I'll see you at Long Branch Steakhouse in downtown Gifford.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Bet like the pros with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circus Sports is now available in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I've been a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited that the Circus Sports app is now ready for action. Experience big app bets with high betting limits, tight money line splits, and more. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Find the career you want and the work-life balance you need. Immediate openings are now available with RPC's Early Childhood Education Program in Champaign County. New competitive wages, Monday through Friday schedule, weekends, and 17 paid holidays, health insurance, pension, sick and vacation time, free training, and tuition. It's the perfect opportunity to ignite your career in the early childhood field. Get hired at a job where you're making an impact. When children love learning, everything else falls into place. Enjoy this meaningful career, giving kids the basic skills and knowledge, logic and reasoning, as well as expressing themselves through creative arts. Learn more about the tremendous opportunities with the Regional Planning Commission's Early Childhood Education Program by visiting ccrpc.org/jobs today.
Stevie Jay broadcast.
Okay, so Mike Johnson is the new Speaker of the House. Johnny has jumped in. Brother Johnny's here, and he's from New Orleans, but Mike Johnson's from the northern part of your state.
Northern part, and I don't know Mr. Johnson, but all reports are good, and I'm just amazed they finally decided, well, we better have a speaker.
Yeah, right.
And I think he'll be good. He gave a great speech, which I didn't hear all of, but I think we'll see.
Yeah. Well, his name is Mike Johnson. He's your new Speaker of the House. And again, we'll talk to John Decker because, hey, it is Thursday. And we'll talk to Mr. Decker, the White House correspondent for Gray Television.
Well, he usually has some information for us about somebody like Mike Johnson, inside stories.
This is how the third in line to the presidency sounds.
We're in the majority right now. We've gone through a little bit of suffering. We've gone through a little bit of character building. And you know what it's produced? More strength, more perseverance, and a lot of hope. And that's what we're about to deliver to the American people. We're going to tell them what we're for, what agenda we are pursuing, and why it is best for every American. Why it will give them more liberty, opportunity, and security. We're going to speak to that clearly. We're going to act consistently, and we're going to exhibit two things here, trust and teamwork. The first bill that I'm going to bring to this floor in just a little while will be in support of our dear friend Israel, and we're overdue in getting that done.
Apparently, he's really smart.
Well, he sounds smart, but he sounds rational. That's
true.
Seems that, you know what, I probably wouldn't agree with everything he's going to do, but he just sounds like someone you can talk about it
kind
with.
Of a normal kind of
He's
person.
probably not going to scream at you, some kind of subject-changing, distractive deal, but he seems relatively normal for some of us Central Illinoisans.
Yeah, and he doesn't have, I guess, there's no preconceived, we don't know who he is. There'll be somebody that comes up with the opposition, something where he kicked a dog or something somewhere.
Well, but not knowing who he is right now is a real good sign.
No, it's big plus. big plus.
Because he obviously didn't do anything one way or the other to draw attention.
No, he wasn't running to the microphones or running on television. Never seen him. Vivek Ramaswamy, they got opposition research on stuff, ripping him up and down. It's unbelievable. He might not even go to the next debate.
I don't think there's anybody alive who you couldn't do that to.
Yeah, right, exactly. So, you can always find things. Yep. It doesn't necessarily have to be true.
No, Steve.
I mean, didn't Romney put his dog on the top of his car? I mean, there's always going to be something.
And usually it's there's a little grain of truth, and then you just build.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Say anything you want about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, Mike Johnson, we'll learn more about him coming up in moments. John Decker. We also have Did You Know? Nathaniel's son coming up before the top of this hour. And Smoke with Tim Onstadt, the great smoke and barbecue expert who's
that's
pitmaster guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was at the tailgate.
Okay.
And happened to walk by because I was looking for him. And he had all these ribs. And they fall off the bone.
No, he's got it, man. He knows. Ooh. And he wins a lot of competition.
He just won in Terre Haute a week ago.
There you go.
That's right.
And he's with all the big shots. He won the brisket last year in Arkansas. He's in Pine Bluff. And he'll be checking in with us coming up here in next hour, coming up about an hour from now. All right, more on the mass shooting in Maine coming up. Israel, there might be a ground excursion kind of going on that we're not talking about yet. So lots going on. We'll get more coming up. John Decker next. You've heard about the doggy bag, right? From Bulldog Disposal Muhammad, a 6 cubic yard canvas bag that can be used for easy cleanup instead of a big dumpster. The one-time use bag is now available, and you can save the delivery charge. Get the doggy bag at Do It Best Hardware in Champaign at 107 West Springfield. So fill up the bag, call Bulldog Disposal, have it disposed of, and you'll be organized. Go to bulldoggybag.com for all the details. That's bulldoggybag.com.
Bet like the pros with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circus Sports is now available in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I've been a lifelong sports bettor and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited that the Circus Sports app is now ready for action. Experience big app bets with high betting limits, tight money line splits, and more. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Lewiston, Maine. Police are looking for 40-year-old Robert Card, a firearms instructor in the Army Reserves. He spent 2 weeks committed to a mental health facility this past summer.
The two scenes are a little more than 4 miles apart. Shemenji's Bar and Grill and Spare Time Recreation. Then a little farther south in the town of Lisbon, that is where the white Subaru that investigators had called for people to keep a lookout for, that is where it was found.
Fox's Molly Line in Lewiston. This man says he ran down one of the lanes at the bowling alley when the shooting started.
I slid basically into where the pins are and climbed up in the machine and was on top of the machines for about 10 minutes until the cops got there.
Now, people in and around Lewiston and in Bowdoin, Maine, where Card lives, are told to stay inside where they are. Local schools and colleges are closed. This is a Fox News alert.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois awarding nearly $10 million to 40 different applicants across the state to support post-pandemic child and adolescent health. The grants range from $83,000 to just over $400,000. 60% of the grants going to schools, 20% to hospital or clinic-based programs, and 17.5% to local health departments. Champaign School District officials want another shot at American Rescue Plan Act money from the city. Earlier in the month, some parents and students upset when they found out they hadn't yet used the money they got last year. The Champaign Unit 4 School District got over $500,000 last year to help fix the root causes of gun violence in the city. Champaign County environmental stewards coming together to build a household hazardous waste collection facility in Urbana. Organizers say the need for the $170,000 space located on 901 Celine Court needed year-round. Adding it'll improve the health and safety of the community. The program will decrease risk of groundwater and surface water contamination. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less.
Stevie Jay Broadcasting is proud to be a part of the Disability Resource Expo coming to Marketplace Mall from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday, October 28th. Up to 100 exhibitors will share information and answer questions regarding resources available to enhance the lives of people with disabilities and seek advice in reaching out for answers. The expo is free and open to the public. Visit disabilityresourceexpo.org.
Okay, it is Thursday. I want to talk to John Decker. He's at the White House in press room.
John Decker.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is children singing from Con Pines as the whole harvest is about done now. John Decker, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Stevie. Hope you're having a good week as well.
Yes, sir. Trying to keep up. We got Israel perhaps flirting with their ground excursion. We got going into Gaza. We've got mass shooting in Maine. You got a new speaker who should be on the front page this morning, and I don't think he will be, but Mike Johnson, what do you know about Lou? And Brother Johnny's here, and Johnny says I am red-faced because I don't know Mike Johnson.
I don't know Mike. He's way up north, practically Yankee up here in Shreveport. So
okay.
No, you know more than I personal level, I bet. So how what do you think?
Well, I'm really interested to see how Mike Johnson takes on the job as House Speaker. You know, Gray Television, the company that I work for, we own a station, We own many stations, but we own a station in Shreveport. And so Mike Johnson has spoken to us on a regular basis, and I'm curious as to whether or not that's going to continue. The last time he spoke to our station, he comes, no staff, just shows up. I think that's going to change now that he's the House Speaker. He's going to have a whole, team with him when he goes to do these interviews. But look, he's a pretty conservative guy.
Hello.
He wears that proudly, and I think that for him, being a Christian conservative means a lot. He's only been in Congress for a relatively short amount of time. He was sworn in January of 2017, and here he is 6 years later, and he's Speaker of the House of Representatives, third in line to the presidency. Pretty remarkable rise in such a short amount of time.
He probably isn't driving himself to the Shreveport TV station right now because I think third in line to the presidency, he's got Secret Service probably.
Maybe.
I
bet you one thing, though,
absolutely.
From what I've heard about him, John, he'll talk to you because he talked to you before. I think he's that kind of guy. He's not going to say, now I'm Speaker, I'm not going to go see my friend John. So I think he'll be happy about that.
So, what does that mean? Does that mean he can't possibly cross the aisle? You can't talk to each other, right? Yeah. Ooh.
Well, he's going to face a test, Stevie, because, the government could possibly shut down in just a few weeks' time, November the 17th at midnight. So he's got to work in a bipartisan fashion to prevent that from happening. That means, talking to the leader of the Senate, who's Chuck Schumer. So, doesn't have a lot of experience in terms of, reaching across the aisle, bipartisanship, but he's got a test right away.
He seems
in that, and he's going to also have a test with that aid package, for Ukraine, Israel, and border security that's working its way through the Senate right now.
He seems like he's a pretty smart guy, so that helps. It mainly just, it's amazing to me they came up with enough votes for anybody with the way they were talking.
Well, and
I agree with you.
Not so sure it was a very good move to acquiesce to one guy can call a vote. That's still in play, right?
Yeah.
That's still in play. That's still in the rules. Yeah, if someone, for whatever reason, doesn't like something that Mike Johnson has done, they can essentially call a vote like Matt Gaetz did just 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But, it's a good thing for Congress. It's a good thing for our country. We now have a functioning House of Representatives. 22 days without a House Speaker. That is pretty remarkable in this day and age. And Republicans from every faction in the party in the House voted for Mike Johnson. Unity all around, at least as it stands today, and we'll see how long that stays the case.
I tell you, it was interesting. One of the first questions somebody asked him was, "Did you think the elections were fair? Or there's a problem with our voting?" And he didn't say a word because I think any word he would have said would have finished him right.
Right.
Yeah.
There's some. They figure out the new extension on the debt and all these other things. We'll see. And then if he makes a deal that Matt Gaetz doesn't like, he's done. So the 2 weeks.
Well, not only Matt Gaetz. John, is five. There's 5 people that from who, or 6 or 8
somewhere in there,
from who voted for him, and then we're back to square one.
Man,
so.
Yep.
That's right. What he's spoken about before in terms of his plan as it relates to that, that ticking time clock, that winding down as it relates to funding the government is. He is very likely to just kick the can down the road until mid-January or mid-April, rather than deal with the big budget issue, how to fund the government at what levels for every department and agency. So I'm thinking that's what's going to happen here when we get to that November 17th at midnight deadline, is just a continuing resolution that funds the government for another few months, and then they'll have to face that same issue in an election year, which makes it that much more difficult to get that kind of thing done.
I would predict later this morning, it's just horrible to, over and over mass shootings. This is obviously one of the biggest mass shootings, I think, in the country and certainly in Maine. But last night, went into a bowling, could have been Old Orchard. I mean, that's kind of our small town bowling alley, going to Lane. Yeah. There's league night. Everybody's there on league night.
No, right. There's a lot of people.
You scatter them, and then you go to a bar 4 miles away, whatever. Then they can't find the guy, and he's an Army Reservist, expert in military equipment and things like that. And who knows? So, John, I mean, it's predictable, I think, later this morning when, one side's going to say Second Amendment, one's going to say get rid of all the guns. So how do you report
Well,
this?
this is one of those things where I think that there could be some sort of agreement, even with those. You tell me if I'm too pie in the sky in terms of the way that I look at these things. This is a guy that clearly has mental issues, right? And those types of people should not have guns. And if I'm not mistaken, I've seen reporting indicating that he indicated to not authorities, but to medical professionals that he was having issues. And
hearing voices and threatening to shoot up his own reserve unit and all these other. So but you can say, okay, no guns for you, but you can get a gun, right? You can hide it.
I think we're going to learn. For those people say we're going to learn this guy got his guns, in a legal fashion. Yeah. He didn't, buy it off a street corner, and the serial number was shaved off.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna learn all about this individual and where he got these weapons that he used to kill people in his own community in very short order. And if you're buying it legally and you have these issues, you're hearing voices. Those people, my gosh, you should not have the ability to go out there and buy something like that can kill people.
It's a little ironic that you talk about we got to get rid of all the guns, and you hear we just can't have it. Well, I think we more or less succeeded. You go into a bowling alley, nobody has a gun, nobody. And the bar, no one has a gun. And so we've gotten rid of all the guns except the people who probably shouldn't have them. And so I don't know. As far as carry.
You raise a good point. I don't know what the laws are in the state of Maine.
Right.
But, it makes one think. If you own an establishment, you want to protect yourself, protect your customers. You have to think about those types of things, and you have to think about thank God there is a Second Amendment.
I got to tell you,
protect yourself.
Steve mentioned our bowling alley, and I'd just be surprised if someone could go in there and no one bowling
in a smaller community
up there had one on or in their bag. I don't know. I'd never carry one. I don't want to carry a gun around.
I don't want to carry a gun
and
around.
So,
but maybe we need when you're on an airplane, you don't know if there's an air marshal in seat 3D. Maybe we need. Air marshals in every town.
Well, it's a whole nother institution.
I know it. But every time you have a concealed carry responsible citizen, they're told to never bring it in here. Don't bring it in here. So guys casually go reload and shoot people. Yeah, and there's nobody shooting back.
Well, it's hard. Abe Lincoln always said, whoever doesn't mind getting killed if they kill me could shoot me. We can't protect against that. And we got people that are, and of course this guy's still on the loose, but most of them get shot. They apparently figure they might, and they don't care. I don't know what you can do.
John Decker on the Tapman's Towing phone line, Gray Television's outstanding national correspondent, White House correspondent. Okay, so if they said, John, here's your ticket to Tel Aviv, would you go? Eesh.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, okay. Without a doubt, I would do that. I think it's important what Israel is doing in terms of going after Hamas. Hamas has in its charter the destruction of Israel. And so they're fighting for their survival and trying to destroy this terrorist organization. It's pretty remarkable, don't you think? That Iron Dome system. Wow, what technology!
That's amazing.
And, thankfully that exists.
Yeah, and again, we were talking about Gaza the size of Delaware, Israel size of New Hampshire, and so we're talking fairly small areas, but still, what they're going to do in Gaza is like urban, where who knows what's wired and booby trapped, and it's just a brutal.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons, Stevie. Stevie and Johnny, that they're taking their time. They have to get intelligence about what is facing them if they go in, with a full-scale ground invasion into Gaza, because of all the things that you just mentioned, booby traps, those tunnels. They can't just go in. I think that they're like sitting ducks essentially, if they go right in. But to me, that's the reason why you see this delay for a ground war that Israel will likely launch against Hamas.
I think there's an even bigger problem, John, which is you've got Hamas, but who's Hamas? Every person you kill might create 2 more dedicated Hamasians for 3 generations, because you're killing brothers, you're killing uncles, you're killing sisters.
Right. Yeah.
And how do you make peace when you've come in and of course some of the civilians already have confirmed what is indoctrinated, which is the Jews are terrible, we need to wipe the Jews off the face of the earth. So I don't see a win. I don't see
It's tough. I don't know a clear answer either, Johnny. But you think about, when you're talking about the survival of your nation, you can understand why you have to do what you have to do.
You can't leave it like it is either. It's just such. It's been the problem, and I'll tell you what, I would hold back giving any more money to Iran. That's just my opinion, for crying out loud, because it all ends up in Hezbollah and Hamas real bind over there. And we've known this our whole lives. Has always been something to muse over. And what do you do? And every president's done everything they could to get peace in the Middle East. And actually,
good luck.
And the guy who got closest to us was Trump.
Abraham Accords, wasn't that a start?
So,
that was
it was
something.
Progress, maybe. But when
that was progress. No, I agree with you. That was major progress.
Did you see?
And we were heading further in that direction in terms of normalization between Israel and Saudi Arabia. And President Biden speculates. I think there's something to what he says too. That this is one of the reasons for the attack when it happened, is trying to prevent normalization between Israel and Saudi Arabia.
And the attack when Netanyahu was just reelected.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they knew all hell was going to break loose with him as prime minister.
Hey, did you see Barry Weiss, formerly New York Times, her piece about Trump? I thought that was pretty interesting yesterday. It was essentially saying, we didn't like we liked the message, but we killed the messenger. He said, border was a pretty good idea. She went to a litany of things that said, you know what? We didn't like the guy way he would act, but his ideas are great, and we killed it.
Well, that's right. I think that's what a lot of Republicans that are competing for the nomination, their message essentially is that's what Mike Pence's message is. I'm going to, do the same thing that we did during the Trump-Pence administration, but without all the headaches, associated with the individual Donald Trump. And that's what, Ron DeSantis is saying, and that's what Nikki Haley is saying. I mean, they're all saying that same message.
Yeah.
I don't know. And the message, however, is not resonating because we see, a significant percentage of the Republican Party likes the person, likes Donald Trump. And, I think that, as things stand today, here we are, late October, Donald Trump, despite all of his legal problems, he's likely going to be the nominee for Republicans in this time next year.
Well, it's interesting to me that, to be honest, not a lot of the English liked Churchill, but boy, when Hitler broke into Belgium and Holland, they're like, Winston, you got to take this. And then once they got through it somehow or other, and thank heaven that the U.S. finally came around, they threw him out within 2 weeks.
Right.
Well,
it happens. Look, George H.W. Bush, hard to believe, 92% approval rating after
Persian Gulf
War, and then he loses the next year.
No, that's amazing.
Pretty remarkable.
You're right.
Unbelievable.
So it's politics, I guess.
It is.
Well, John, we covered the ground, so you would go to Tel Aviv if asked. That's
oh, sure.
But listen, they don't.
I was hoping. Look, if there was more time, in terms of the president's trip that he took to Israel, I would have been on that trip. I wasn't in the rotation to travel aboard Air Force One on that particular trip, but if it was like a week's notice, I would have been absolutely in Israel at that time.
They don't honor that whole press armband anymore. You do know that, right? So they don't really.
Yeah, I do know that. Okay. Yeah, I'm well aware.
Keep up your fine work. We need journalists. You are a journalist.
Yeah, I agree. Keep it up, John.
Thank
great talking with you.
Thanks, Johnny.
Well,
thank you, Stevie. Have a great day and a great weekend. Talk real soon.
John Decker, live from. I think he's 4 miles from the White House, and sometimes he's at the White House.
That is a journalist that's chomping at the bits to go to Israel.
For sure.
Yeah, it's a journalist. They don't really care if you're press anymore. All right, Nathaniel's son. Did you know ESPN 93.5 coming up?
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign and vicinity. And this delightful spell of late October weather continues on and seasonably mild and warm for the day today. A couple of late morning and more likely afternoon showers across the area. There'll be dry hours today, 76 for the high. Down tonight to 65 with a couple of showers around both early and late. Tomorrow windy and seasonably warm with variably cloudy skies as well. And a couple of showers and thunderstorms in the morning. More so tomorrow afternoon before the rains. Highs of 75, maybe even 80 just south of Champaign on a gusty south wind. Turns much colder tomorrow night. Some showers and maybe even a thunderstorm early on, low down to 45. Clouds and a couple of showers by afternoon on Saturday with a high temperature up near 56. More rain Saturday night into Sunday. We're stuck in the 40s for highs on Sunday. Monday at 45 with a shower in the afternoon. A snowflake and then a sprinkle Tuesday at 43 for the high. Will be well down into the 20s both Tuesday and Wednesday morning. Highs 45 on about Wednesday, 52 on Thursday, back close to 60 late next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgan.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate you. Brought to you by Houlihan.
Houlihan's Restaurant and Bar on Thursdays from 6 to 8 have their $7 glass of house wine or red sangria, along with terrific music. Tom Cortese on the piano. It'll be awesome. So make sure you check it out tonight at Houlihan's First and St. Mary.
On Thursdays, we call my son Nathaniel to identify him and make it easy. And a tip to the Karate Kid, I call him Nathaniel's son. Nathaniel's son in Chicago. Johnny's here.
Good morning, guys.
What is
How you doing?
I'm good, Nathaniel. Good to hear your voice. Nathaniel's son.
Yeah, you too, Johnny.
So Nathaniel does a segment called Did You Know? And he finds interesting things that we don't know. And Steve Meckling had said last Friday night when I saw him that he just loves this. Loves him. Just loves him.
Well, does he want to sponsor it? We could always accept that.
Retired motorcycle police officer Steve can definitely sponsor it, Steve. Okay, Nathaniel, son, what do you got?
Well, 2 weeks ago, as some of you may remember, we discussed a little bit about the history of Philo, and this morning we're going to pick up with the history of Champaign and how it came to be the town that we all know and love. Now, interestingly enough, the history of Champaign actually starts with Urbana, which was settled by the Europeans in 1822, and then it was referred to as the Big Grove, likely for its dense growth of trees. Now, a gentleman by the name of John Vance, who was then an Illinois state senator, is actually responsible for naming Champaign County and Urbana after the town of Urbana, Ohio, and the county of Champaign, Ohio, where he was from.
Huh.
Now, Urbana was established as the county seat, meaning that it was the primary place of governance, and it really wasn't until about 30 years later that Champaign came into the picture. In the early 1850s, the Illinois Central Railroad actually announced that it was going to construct the line that is there today that came from Chicago. Now, when this was announced, it certainly would have made sense for the line to have run through downtown Urbana, but it didn't. And for any of us who know that train runs along Neal Street, which is Route 45, some 2 miles west of Urbana. And you might wonder, why was the train put in the open prairie when downtown Urbana was 2 miles to the east? And this was primarily because the train line had difficulty acquiring the land it needed to put the train through downtown Urbana. So once the train was built in 1855, the town of Champaign actually followed about 30 years after Urbana. And so now we know a little bit more about the history. We can thank all of our neighbors to the east for not being willing to give up their homes and land and letting the train run through Champaign so that we now have the town we live.
Well, because Urbana politics was still hard.
Well,
1830.
That's
Couldn't
amazing.
even get a train.
That's pretty consistent 200 years there, Steve.
No kidding.
Yeah, not in my backyard.
Yeah, right.
And of course, the trains are what drove America's growth all the way across the country. I can see why you wouldn't want a train going by the house because we got them right here.
Right. No, that's right.
But you learn to sleep with them, Nathaniel.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's good. It still boggles the mind that Abraham Lincoln was riding his horse around those days, and stopped at the courthouse a number of times.
Well, and he made a speech on the east-west, north-south tracks in Tolono, and probably about 45 seconds or so, but still, there was a stop there. And I had heard, Nathaniel, that Tolono was gonna host the University of Illinois at one point because we had the north, south, east, west tracks.
Yeah.
Well, it almost is, Diane. It won't be much longer. They'll be right in your backyard.
Yeah, that's right. It's
Well,
growing
it was
so much.
something that you and I were talking about yesterday about like a lot of towns were really developed like rivers and lakes, and there's really not much of that in central Illinois,
Right.
so it makes sense that it was the railroad.
Imagine driving spikes in the middle of a prairie. There's nothing out there, man. It's empty.
Right.
And
Well, look, Steve, go west all the way down the tracks.
Yeah.
You had the towns pop up through
the train
through the country, and that's how we settled it. And if the Indians would have concentrated on pulling up the tracks, they could have bought themselves some more time, because once the Iron Horse went through, here we came.
Wow. Yeah, I can't imagine. Mr. Lincoln, you can't leave your horse there. Yeah, it's double parked, and you got to clean up after your horse, sir. I'm sorry. and Abraham Lincoln's train to Springfield to bury him came through Philo. It did pass through Philo, which is unbelievable. 1865. I would imagine it went through Tolono.
Yeah, that's right.
So
I feel like there are Tolono Historical Society. We have a little museum that has those pictures.
Well, Poppy's brother Auric got off the train in Tolono in the 60s. It was a passenger train from Michigan back then.
No, we used to have the train to Sydney. Remember?
Yeah, there you go.
Doggone it.
Nathaniel, son, good job. We appreciate you.
All right.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks for having
All
me.
right, Nathaniel. Yeah, it was
Have a
very
good one.
interesting.
Too. Thank you, Nathaniel, son in Chicago. Did you know?
And you can always chime in, 217-359-2255 on our Tapman's Towing phone line.
Hey, Mr. Lincoln, you want to wrestle?
No, I'll tell you though.
He was pretty long and lanky.
6'4", and
Exactly.
And he wrestled in the debates with
Is it Stephen Douglas?
Stephen Douglas. Stephen Douglas was what, 5'3"?
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
was more of a portly guy.
they're going, and Abe Lincoln in 6'4" would have been the tallest NBA player ever back then. And nobody played NBA basketball.
I know.
6'4" in those days? That was unheard of.
But then there was a peach basket, and they didn't have the bottom out of it until they got the basketball
That
out
was
every
early
time.
1900s.
Well, in the Illinois Senate race, Lincoln got 53% and beat Douglas, but the legislature said, "Nah, we're going to send Douglas," because they could override the voters back then.
Wow. Is that right?
I heard that and read that when Liz Cheney said, "Well, Abe Lincoln lost." Well, he had 53%, sweetheart. You had 29.
I see.
Hey, well, how many votes
God
did...
rest her soul, gym teacher for Unity.
No, we're talking Liz Cheney, vice president. She's talking about the gym teacher, Liz Cheney.
She was Liz.
Liz Cheney, too. Yeah.
This is Liz Cheney from Wyoming.
Wyoming.
Okay.
The congresswoman
who's on the impeachment.
Right, and she
was
just
doing
got
some-
crushed, and they were talking about running her for president because it was so heroic to get that 29%.
Yeah, well, Abraham Lincoln won the presidency in the election of 1860. How many votes did he get?
Look, that was a barn burner. You know more than I.
Well, just imagine, there's what Joe Biden got 81 million, maybe he got 90 million, or maybe he got 60 million. At any event, there's like 60 million to 60 million these days. How many votes did it take to get Abraham Lincoln in 1860? Anybody?
1860, 4 million?
He wasn't even on the ballot in the South.
Okay.
There were three guys running. Lincoln won with 1.8 million votes.
All right.
Okay.
Well, that's close.
And thank God he did.
I'll tell you, I
Unbelievable.
think it took like 25 ballots at the convention to get the nomination or something. They had a real, it was different. I say different. It was just as bad back then.
Oh, man. They excoriated Lincoln in the cartoons.
Yeah, and in the media.
Oh, man.
Yellow journalism and all
ripped
of that.
them big day. You go to the museum in Springfield, see all the cartoons that they wrote about. It's mean stuff.
And we talk about this next election, the whole future of our country, maybe the most important election of our lives. And I'm not sure that every single election isn't the most important election of our lives at that time.
Yeah, no, it feels like it. No, you're right. Okay, we're going to break for the news and be right back. Glad you're listening. Diane Ducey's there. There's
Good
Brother
morning.
Johnny. I'm Stevie J. It is the 26th. It's Thursday. And we will be back after the news at the top of the hour. Very latest on all of the top stories, including the horrible event in Maine. Stand by. Hey, folks. Fall is coming, and so are great deals on the world's fastest mower. Dixie Chopper at Champaign-Urbana's only dealer, dedicated diesel, at 1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana. They still have some 23 and a select few 22 residential and commercial models at liquidation prices, too low to advertise. Whether you're mowing your yard at home or 200 yards commercially, you'll get the best warranty in the business with 3-year bumper-to-bumper unlimited hours or 5-year bumper-to-bumper up to 600 hours that includes the engine, deck, and spindle hub. Go see Andy Bowman at Dedicated Diesel in Urbana for warranty details and best pricing on the world's fastest mower. He's clearing out inventory to make way for the new 24s, and no reasonable offer will be refused. Dedicated Diesel, 1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana, that's just off Route 45, 217-328-0562.
Norm Miller here, chairman of Interstate Batteries. You know, without batteries, life would be pretty lifeless. That's why Interstate All Battery Centers carry them in every size, shape, and style so you can drive, drill, call, film, or do whatever it is you want to do. Stop in today. They've got the power to keep you going. Interstate All Battery Center. Outrageously dependable.
Interstate All Battery Center. You'll find them outrageously dependable just over Interstate 74 at 2504 North Mattis Avenue in Champaign, with batteries for most every application in stock.
This is a Fox News alert. He is still on the run, considered armed and dangerous. I'm Dave Anthony, the suspected mass shooter in Lewiston, Maine, who went on a rampage in a bowling alley and in a bar and a restaurant last night.
State police continue to urge people to stay in their homes. They say they're expanding the shelter-in-place advisory today to include the town where Robert Card is from, where his residence is.
Fox's Molly Line in Lewiston. And it's not clear yet how many people were killed. We've heard between 15 and 22, with dozens more injured. As for Robert Card, he's 40 years old.
He is believed to be a trained firearm instructor and member of the Army Reserve. Now, according to reports, Card spent 2 weeks at a mental health facility over the summer. Police say he recently reported mental health issues, including, quote, hearing voices and threats to shoot up a military base in Saco, Maine.
That's Fox's Todd Pyro. On day 20 of Israel's war against Hamas terrorists, their troops went into Gaza briefly overnight ahead of a planned ground invasion. Israeli Defense Forces Lieutenant Colonel Peter Lerner tells Fox
to strike and target Hamas anti-tank capabilities in the perimeter of the fence.
They also hit Gaza with more airstrikes. Palestinian officials now claim more than 7,000 people have been killed there in this war. Democratic Congressman Jamal Bowman faces arraignment this hour on misdemeanor charges for pulling a fire alarm ahead of a House vote last month to avert a government shutdown. Bowman admits doing it, but said this morning,
I was not trying to disrupt any, official government proceedings, so I'm glad the investigation found that was the case.
We just got an update on the economy showing better than expected growth last quarter. GDP increased 4.9%. That's more than double the growth of the prior 3 months. It's day 42 of the auto workers strike, but the UAW has a tentative deal with Ford that would give them a 25% pay raise. Now, the workers still have to approve that contract as picketing continues against GM and Stellantis. America's listening to Fox News.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
What's up? I'm tired of feeling so bloated. That used to be me. Then I got this. Align Bloating Relief plus Food Digestion. A probiotic, right? Yeah, it works naturally with your gut to help soothe occasional bloating and gas. Plus, it has vitamin B12 to aid digestion by helping convert food to cellular energy. 2 benefits, 1 capsule.
Align Bloating Relief plus Food Digestion from the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Learn more at alignprobiotics.com.
Jesse Kelly here. Do you feel protected? My personal protection plan is owning gold. The Oxford Gold Group helps you buy gold to have on hand or convert it into your 401k. If things get weird, I have gold on hand. I like that. You can buy coins or convert part of your 401k with the Oxford Gold Group. It's easy and safe. 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD. 833-995-GOLD.
The House now has a speaker after Republicans finally united around their 4th choice, selecting Mike Johnson.
This group will deliver for the American people. I said it in the chamber, and I will say it here. We're going to govern well. And I think the people are going to be very pleased with those results.
Well, after Johnson took the gavel, the House reopened for business, approving a resolution supporting Israel and condemning Hamas's terror attack as barbaric, with most Republicans and Democrats voting in favor. President Biden also backs Israel's war against Hamas, but said he worries about Palestinian civilians, hundreds of thousands in shelters in Gaza, food and fuel and medicine in low supply.
The Israelis should be incredibly careful to be sure that they're focusing on going after the folks that are propagating this war against Israel.
The president also still hopes for a 2-state peaceful solution. He's ready to defend himself on the witness stand in New York. The disgraced former leader of a once prominent cryptocurrency exchange.
The attorney for the founder of the failed crypto company FTX says Sam Bankman-Fried will testify after prosecutors are done laying out their case. That could be as early as today. Bankman-Fried is accused of stealing billions of dollars from FTX customers while lying about it. He faces 7 counts, including conspiracy, fraud, and money laundering. If convicted, he could end up spending most of the rest of his life in prison. His former colleagues and partners, Gary Wang, Carolyn Ellison, and Nishad Singh, who all face possible prison time for their own roles here, have testified against Bankman-Fried, each describing how he directed them to commit crimes that led to defrauding customers. After the collapse, investigators said nearly $9 billion were unaccounted for. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Well, in addition to that report showing better than expected economic growth last quarter, we've also found out first-time unemployment claims rose slightly last week up to 210,000. On Wall Street, stock futures are mixed up for the Dow, down for the NASDAQ. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Champaign School District officials want another shot of the American Rescue Plan Act money from the city. Earlier in the month, parents and students were upset when they found out they hadn't yet used the money they got last year. Champaign Unit 4 School District got over $500,000 last year to help fix the root causes of gun violence. The president and CEO of Busey Bank out of a job after being fired Monday. In an SEC filing publicly available, the company said that Robin Elliott dismissed from his position at the company and had transitioned into a consultative role for the remainder of the year, at which point his employment by Busey Bank ends. Residents of the Clark Lindsay Retirement Community in Urbana celebrating fall with the parade. Tuesday, they lined the outside of the building awaiting the Halloween-themed parade and featured Champaign-based businesses along with the Rantoul High School Marching Band. It also had a 104-year-old as the event's Grand Marshal, riding along in a red Corvette. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, Jim Miller. Thank you. It is 8:05. 8:05, 5 after 8, and meteorologist Greg Solier has jumped in. This guy knows how to do it, folks. He's the best. He knows his science. He knows his maps.
Well, we had a great Halloween event yesterday at Marketplace Mall with the Champaign and Urbana Park District's Halloween Fun Fest, and it was popular because people are seeing on Tuesday between 6 and 8 for outside trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
Could be a little tricky for the kids.
Yeah, our meteorologist Greg Solier brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
And they remind you they've got the financial wellness workshop for free from Busey Bank at the Phillips Recreation Center after 5:30. Learn more at urbanaparks.org.
All right, sir, go ahead and detail your learnedness. What do you see?
Yes, well, that first Halloween, going to be cold. You will need a layer, perhaps 2, on top of the costume, unfortunately, even in that mid to late afternoon, early evening window. We're expecting and forecasting a high somewhere up around about 43 degrees. That's almost 20 degrees below average. There'll be a bit of a breeze, limited sun for the mid to late afternoon as we see it, and maybe even a sprinkle coming along. Yeah, actually, Tuesday morning, I wouldn't be surprised we get a couple of reports of our first snowflakes here and there, and just spotty ones at best. Going to be a cold Halloween. But then moderation for the rest of next week. It's a quieter weather picture as well. The following week looks okay as well, as temperatures by then return to more seasonal norms. And by then, we're happy to get into the, beyond the first week to 10 days of November readings into the 50s around here. So we'll aim for that here going forward. Drought monitor in big improvement over northern and central Illinois, with the exception of here in Champaign, Vermilion counties. Still some dry patches. We'll improve that here in the coming days. Still some drought areas through Michigan, Indiana and Ohio. The worst of it back to the west. Hopefully Johnny's place down through Texas and Louisiana gets rain forecast for those folks as well in the coming days. But apart from that, nice morning. 62 Willard and Savoy. A little sprinkle at Lake Shelbyville currently. Maybe a stray shower this morning early on. And then later this afternoon, a couple of showers and thunderstorms and spotty scattered coverage make it going. 76 the high, 65 tonight, up near 80 tomorrow, especially from Champaign County and southward. Late morning and more likely afternoon showers and thunderstorms return much colder in the 40s tomorrow night. A struggle to 55 or so on Saturday. A couple of showers, maybe a thunderstorm late in the day and at night. Rainy and in the 40s. That's it on Sunday. Monday, maybe a shower in the afternoon, 45. The snowflake and sprinkle at 43 on Halloween Tuesday. Back to the upper 40s Wednesday. Low to mid 50s next Thursday.
All right, so Johnny has a question for you there, Mr. Greg. Go ahead, Johnny.
Well, so in general, now I don't know how far out you can look, but next year are we having more rain in the Mississippi River Valley? Because our river's drying up, Greg. We need more rain to go to the Mississippi. So I need it for 6 months.
Well, it may be interesting enough, this system coming through is it for the mid-Mississippi Valley. We've got to get things up, towards St. Louis and then to Memphis and then down your ways. A lot of that's going to get absorbed and percolated into the ground. There will be something coming along into the lower Mississippi Valley Delta here with this particular system over the weekend, maybe early next week, and a sharp change, by the way, for you guys to even cooler and colder, probably some frost north of New Orleans. And it's El Nino, and we're going to have to wait till maybe late November, more likely December, January, the winter season. Then it's the typical El Nino storm track. California, the Southwest, the Southern Plains, your part of the world, into the southeastern states. So we're easily probably still a couple of months from getting that going, and it may take the winter season before things get kind of back to normal. But upstream in our neck of the woods in the Midwest looks to be milder and drier till we get later into the winter season. So for you, an improvement before we get improvement later this winter and the springtime in the Midwest, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, my friend, meteorologist Greg Soye. Imagine knowing in less than a minute without talking to an agent what your home would be bought for right now, or what if you don't want an instant cash offer, you want to know what your home's worth. Well, my friend Nate Evans is constantly investing in cutting-edge technology and marketing. You want to sell your house. It's easy. You go to your phone right now, go to nateevansgroup.com. You can look into this.
Yeah.
And in this time of, well, how do you do this? You might want to check with the Nate Evans Group.
Yeah, you want to make a smart decision. So you go to nateevansgroup.com and click on that Get Home Value button. A lot of people have sudden changes in their life, a divorce or a parent dying or something like that, where they need to make a quick decision. And this is a great option for you as you go to nateevansgroup.com and click on that Get Home Value button. And you've got so many experienced agents on Nate Evans' team. Each have been part of more than 100 home sales in their career. He doesn't hire inexperienced agents, so you can trust Nate and his team. All you do is call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. It's Nate Evans, 217-239-7113. You can negotiate immediate cash offer on your home. There's flexible fees. Just do an online search to Nate Evans Group and start packing.
When it comes to finding a reliable vehicle, look no further than Sarah Champagne, your trusted automotive destination. They carry a lineup of top brands, including Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. And they're not just about cars, they're about people. Their team is dedicated to providing you with trustworthy service and dependable vehicles that fit your lifestyle. Experience the difference at Sarah Champagne. Visit Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, champagne.com.
This is Kirk Lehman, owner of Aftershock Decals and Design, and we are here to help you get noticed. When we wrap your business vehicle, you are now driving a rolling billboard. Get noticed with what we can do for you. We will create the custom design you have always wanted at Aftershock Decals and Design. We are creative and easy to work with, I promise. So visit us at AftershockDD.com to get a quote and get noticed. That's AftershockDD.com. Get noticed.
All right, so I fully admit that COVID affected me. It affected all of us. I'll see people with a double mask in their car driving alone. I feel sorry for them, I really do, but I'm judging. Right.
Well, but it's not a healthy thing to do. Actually,
but
it restricts your oxygen. You've got the moisture from your mouth.
You're alone.
You don't need it
alone in the car.
Right. Well, but that's a whole nother decision point.
Right.
Physically, it's not a healthy thing.
Walk outside alone. Yeah, I mean, it's just so. What we've done is we've instilled fear to the point of those that aren't maybe mentally super sound, like many of us, and so it's out there. But yet last night I'm at the grocery store. And this older gentleman, and again, it's whatever you want to do, but the guy is wearing a gas mask, a full-blown, if there was a gas attack, he'd be fine. If somebody came in and blew up a canister of gas, he would be okay. It was a big old gas mask that was ginormous with the things on it was massive.
Could you see his eyes?
Yeah, you could see his eyes, but that was it. He had a ball cap on and he had a gas mask, and I'm going, okay, so maybe he's got this unbelievable
immune system concerns.
And he's an older guy. Maybe he lives alone. He has to go buy groceries and he can't get sick or he'll die. I don't know.
Right.
But boy, you just look at that and your mind goes crazy going, what is up?
Well, and it is around Halloween. Some of the kids in their costumes had like masks and stuff like that that were kind of.
This was a gas mask because
You don't think
something's
he was
wrong. No,
going
this
to
was
a
not
Halloween event.
This was definitively not Halloween.
Well, and to me, especially with the shooting in Maine, we're suspicious of people who are covering up.
Well, it actually
extreme.
made you go, what does he know?
Right.
What does he know? Anyway, it's crazy the kinds of things that are going on in our day today. We've touched on Mike Johnson, the new Speaker of the House, seems to be, as Johnny said, kind of reasonable sounding. I mean, which is unique. It's unique to have somebody say, well, you could have coffee at the Philo Tavern with that guy.
Well, it's just disarming to say. I would be able to say what I think about anything without worrying about him just rearing up, frothing at the mouth.
Right.
You know?
Right. Being
reasonable guy.
Very reasonable, common sense, kind of normal. Our Midwest people understand what that is, no matter what, Paul Simon, the Democratic senator from Illinois, you like talking to him. I mean, Terry Bruce, congressman Illinois, you like talking to him. These are Democrats. It is different. The Democrat of our fathers' Democrats, Johnny, it's different.
Everett Dirksen.
Everett Dirksen, what a voice. We could get him tracked on. Well, he had a voice. Anyway, so it's just changed a lot to the point of when you say Democrat, and they'll say, well, you say Republican's not the same. All right, that's fine. But there's wings. But the progressive left has gotten hold of a lot of power in our country and has taken us down roads we don't want to go. And so it's just a question of whether we can correct that.
Well, and the results of the policies have been clearly devastating. It's not controversial when you talk about inflation and
our economy,
crime, and the energy thing, which is still just mind-boggling that
and
we gave
immigration
up
and our borders,
and the impact of us just on that energy independence. Yeah. We had to buy Russian oil.
Yeah, I know.
So they funded their war in Ukraine that we're now paying through the nose to try to help Ukraine.
Make any sense at all.
And people are aware of it.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I don't like death and destruction, pain and suffering, or lying, cheating, and stealing. And the liberal friends I have agree 100%. We just disagree on whose fault it is.
Yeah, right. That's right. There you go. All right, ESPN 93.5. Let's get some sports headlines here this morning.
Well, tonight we'll have Tampa Bay and Buffalo going at it for NFL action. Saints are in Indianapolis Sunday at noon to face the Colts. I believe they're both 3-5.
3-4. I think 3-4.
Something like that.
I don't know.
Anyway,
wait a minute. I should know that it's week 8.
It's 3-4. 7 games played.
Okay.
I think Indianapolis 3-4.
Okay.
We are too.
And I think they're tied at that. So
it is. I'm just not a fan of the coaching staff at this minute. So
gotcha. Minnesota and Green Bay, and then Sunday night.
I think Minnesota will beat Green Bay at Green Bay. Minnesota's a better team. Green Bay's still kind of finding its way.
If the newfound Hall of Famer Kirk Cousins shows up, you can kiss it goodbye, because I've never seen him play like that.
If he plays like
he's
that,
good. He's always been good.
Well, and they're a good team. They're still good.
Yeah,
right.
I think Green Bay is actually a little weak, so I do think Minnesota will
Are you picking
win.
that? Because
yeah.
Okay.
Bears are in LA on Sunday night. Of course, our Illini with a bye week, and then we'll have the game against Minnesota on the 4th.
Week from Saturday.
And that's a 2:30
2:30
kickoff.
Minnesota. By the way, Bears play Sunday night, and this quarterback that the Bears have put in, because Justin Fields is certain. I don't know if he's coming back Sunday or not, but I don't even know the guy's name. Tyson Bagent.
Okay.
He's number 1 in the world on most touchdown passes in college because he played Division II.
All right.
He threw 159 touchdowns.
Well, maybe he's a Jim.
Tyson Bagent?
Yes.
Well, he's also a CrossFitter. There's not very many CrossFitters, so he took his shirt off in the locker room when they were handing him the game ball. But
he's only 23.
And he's brought energy to the Bears. And he ran around, he was pump faking, and ran it out of bounds, and then did the come on crowd give it to me like,
all
wow.
Right,
and they loved that. And the team just jacked up around him.
Okay.
Can the Bears, who are 2-5, still be in the hunt?
They may come right off the mat.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And
we're out of the gates on the NBA season as Oklahoma City beat the Chicago Bulls 124-104. Io with 8 points in that game. Pacers over the Washington Wizards 143-120. And Illinois basketball against Kansas Sunday night at 5. by for that Maui Strong game. You can support and get some gear at Game Day Spirit for that. We'll have the 76ers and the Bucks in action tonight to start their season. Illinois over Indiana at Huff Hall yesterday with Raina Terry's 16 kills, and it was neck and neck for each of the 5 sets. Saturday at Huff Hall, we'll be facing Purdue as we say, go Illini.
If you are interested in selling Illinois basketball tickets, you might look at January 27.
Okay.
That's when Indiana comes to town.
I see.
It's a sellout.
Okay.
StubHub has reasonably good seats, not even great seats. StubHub selling reasonably good seats for $900
What?
each. Yeah.
Well, now is that why Indiana's?
Indiana's good. It's Indiana.
Yeah, and they're coming over.
They're coming to our town.
Yeah.
And the other hot ticket looked to be Michigan.
Okay.
Juwan Howard's not beating us.
No, I don't like Michigan.
Yeah. So Michigan's ticket was going in the range of $400 to $700 each.
Okay.
Is that just a number, or do people pay that? I don't know. That sounds like a lot.
Arizona and Rangers for the World Series tomorrow. Dusty Baker decided to retire.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. All right, we'll check your news, weather, sports still to come in the back half hour as well. The Smoke Show with our friend Tim Onstadt, Pitmaster Extraordinaire. That's coming up, 217-359-2255. If you ever want to text, you can always jump on. It is coming up on 8:20.
Stock futures moved off the lows of the morning after a reading showing the economy was stronger than expected in the summer. Third quarter gross domestic product grew at a 4.9% annual pace, helped by consumer spending, which was up 4%. Also, there was little change in the job market last week. The number of new claims for unemployment benefits rose by 10,000 to 210,000. And continuing claims, those still on unemployment, rose slightly to 1.79 million. Durable goods orders of expensive manufactured things rose 4.7% in September, pushed up by Boeing orders. Ford shares are higher after the tentative settlement with the UAW. And Wall Street analyst Dan Ives at Wedbush says it appears the agreement does not ruin Ford's business model. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
The Fearless and Proud podcast series looks at acts of bravery and strength by women. And in this first season, we look at women who played important roles in the Civil War as soldiers, spies, and battlefield nurses. Listen ad-free on Fox News Podcasts via Apple Podcasts, and Prime members can listen to this show ad-free on Amazon Music.
Hey, Class A CDL drivers. Gail Frericks Trucking wants to invite you to join our team and get a taste of what it's like to work with a team that cares about you, your home time, and your professional growth, as well as your paycheck. This is Operations Manager Donna Onstadt inviting you to join us as we continue building the company you would have started if you knew then what you know now. Gail Frericks Trucking. Call 765-793-7131 today. Our drivers are pre-dispatched, make a guaranteed minimum gross pay of $1,200 per week, have paid vacations and benefits, and are home every weekend and sometimes during the week for quality family time. Our openings are limited, so don't miss your opportunity with the top-paying trucking company in the area, Gail Frericks Trucking. Call 765-793-7131 today. The days are getting longer, and our customers are booking us up with freight. Gail Frericks Trucking. 765-793-7131 or email timo@gftlog.com.
Local, personal, trusted. Hi, this is Todd Durakan with First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana, and we've been serving Champaign County since 1908. Our institution is safe, strong, and stable. We operate on a foundation of responsible and sound practices, and you can rest easy knowing we're your bank. Rated 5-star superior by Bauer Financial, Inc., fast, friendly, and local, with local loan decisions and underwriting. If you're not already banking with us, give us a try, and we think you'll love it here. First Federal Savings Bank, 356bank.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS 435120.
Fighting Illini football is back in Memorial Stadium for Dad's Day and Military Appreciation Day, Saturday, November 11th, as they take on the Indiana Hoosiers. Get tickets for as low as $20 as we celebrate dads for this proud Illinois tradition. All active military personnel are eligible to receive free tickets. Be in your seat early for a special military flyover. Illinois football versus Indiana, Saturday, November 11th. Get tickets and more info at fightingillini.com.
Illini fans, for a limited time at Jets Pizza, new popcorn chicken pizzas. They're tasty popcorn chicken on their famous BBQ, Aloha BBQ, Buffalo Ranch, or Bacon Ranch pizzas. It's new and a limited time offer, so don't miss out. Try any of the four for just $17.99. Code BBQ. Their popcorn chicken pizzas are perfect to order while watching football with friends and family. Try their tasty popcorn chicken on their famous BBQ, Aloha BBQ, Buffalo Ranch, or Bacon Ranch pizzas. Just $17.99. Code BBQ. Jets, better because it has to be.
Hi, it's Stevie Jay. So I took my mom into Audubell, owned by Jeff Hanley, who owns 13 locations around central Illinois. She's had so much trouble hearing for so long. Audubell, Audibel, for hearing. And some of the new technologies, they've got AI now for some of these hearing aids, and they're virtually invisible. It's unbelievable, and it helped my mom. It helped her incredibly. We've been to other places. This is by far the best place I've ever been in for hearing help. Go to audibelteam.com. That's Audibel. If you want more information about Audubell and how Jeff Hanley and his amazing culture and amazing team that they have, go to audibelteam.com. That's Audibel, audibelteam.com. You'll be so happy you found Audubell. Amazing work. They got a location in Champaign. Go to audibelteam.com. That's audibelteam.com. You could tell Mom's a little better with the hearing right now.
Yeah, we're trying to get in.
Yeah, they are jammed to the ceiling. Audubell is really, really good and trying to get in to see Bobby. But anyway, it's the Mom's better.
Right.
It's unbelievable. So that's good news.
It's great.
Okay, 8:32. Again, basketball, Kansas. Bill Self back on the sidelines, and State Farm was the Assembly Hall. First time since he left, 2003.
Oh, is that right? Wow, 20 years.
Yep, and I again, like Bill Self, I guess I'm probably more than an acquaintance, but really good guy, and I have a few stories there with Bill Self.
Is this exhibition?
Yeah.
Well, why don't you call him? He'll probably talk to you.
Well, maybe I thought about doing that. I
no
have
stress. It's not, he likes Champaign.
He likes Champaign-Urbana, but a few of the liners, because when he first went to Kansas, the first NCAA tournament, they got bounced by Bucknell.
13th. They were 13. Lost to a 2 or something.
Like that. And then the second year they lost to Bradley. First game.
No, they were the 2 anyway.
They lost 2 early.
Right, I remember that.
Not good. So then the next season they're playing on some cold January night and they lose on ESPN to Nevada in Kansas. I mean, it was bad. So I called him at 6:20 the next morning and he picked it up immediately. I said, "You all right? You okay?" "Oh, I'm fine.
We're going to be fine."
"I'm fine."
I remember you telling me that.
And I said to him, "You're going to win the national championship. You're going to go to the NBA if that's what you want to do. You're going to be a superstar. It's going to be unbelievable at Kansas." You're a good guy. You're a good guy. So funny.
Well, I don't think he wants anything to do with the NBA. He likes Kansas. He likes Lawrence.
Well, I asked him about San Antonio because the rumor was he's going there.
Well, that's interesting.
Then he said to me, "You want to follow Pop?"
Yeah.
Who's going after Paul Popovich? Mm-hmm. That's like John Wooden, isn't it?
Greg Popovich.
Whatever.
And he's a great coach.
Greg Popovich.
Is he really?
He's still there, and he's still there.
Yeah. Is he retired?
He just got the big tall guy from France. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Okay.
No. I mean, Dusty Baker, he'll stay.
So we open the preseason poll number 25.
All
This
right.
is Brad Underwood's 7th season. We had an exhibition game and won 116-65 over Ottawa on Friday night. And 15 of the Illini got playing time, each earning 1 point in that victory. 14 different players at least scoring 1 point. So we've got a lot of people returning, Johnny. Luke Goody, he comes into the studios or was here a few days ago to talk about the game. Coleman Hawkins, Ty Rogers, Terrence Shannon Jr. been nominated for some preseason watch list awards. And there's this newcomer, Marcus Domask. We're really looking forward to performing.
What we have is Luke Goody and Marcus Domask are both old. I mean, junior and a graduating fifth-year senior, and they shoot the three, like 35 to 40%. So
what about
super?
How are you sitting for point guard? You got somebody who can fill in?
Ty Rodgers is going to start.
Okay. Point guard.
Point guard?
Wow.
Nobody thinks he can shoot it. So we'll see. Can't make free throws. So we'll see. But what the problem is going to be is if he brings it across and then kicks it off to the 2 guy, and then he goes and posts up. What point guard can guard Ty Rodgers?
Nobody.
Yeah.
And well, that's why I want him inside a little bit.
Yeah,
you got to watch the fast breaks, Steve.
That's right. Somebody's got to. Nico Moretti is an Italian kid and can handle the rock. He's a natural point guard. It's funny. Brad Underwood said everybody's worried about the point guard.
I'm not worried. I was just wondering who's going to be.
He said everybody's worried about the point guard, but me.
Okay.
Right? So I'll trust Brad Underwood. I do have extensive experience in Champaign Park District basketball coaching, so I'm going to defer to Brad.
Thank you for that.
Well,
Drake
I had a
Gibbs
couple.
Lawhorn got 15 points, and Amani Hansberry, another freshman, tallied 14 points.
This is a kind of, let's see where we are. Are we competitive with the number 1 team in the country? I don't know. Hunter Dickinson from Michigan, boo! He's there now at Kansas.
Well,
that's crazy.
I'd like to see Brad's press. I thought it was pretty good. He didn't do it as much. The guys didn't want to do
Matthew Meyer, I think, vetoed that. Would be my guess.
Anyway. So hopefully we'll do a little more of that because they're good.
Sincere Harris on the ball. Oh
boy.
Anyway, what the heck? Every year it feels pretty good. And Brad Underwood, never heard of this. First 4 years at Illinois, he has the most wins in the Big Ten. Brad Underwood, 4 years, we're number 1. When has that ever happened? I don't think it's ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
First for 4 years straight, we have the most Big Ten wins. That's unbelievable. It's hard to win a game in the Big Ten. Really hard.
Well, and we won the most games in the Big Ten Conference. We didn't get the trophy, but
16-4 versus 14-3. They had a better percentage.
No, but we won the conference that year by winning more games than any other conference
According to
team.
Kevin Warren, it was not us. So.
Well, that's an opinion. We have a disagreement. And they can give the little whining Michigan their trophy.
I'm Chris Foster. There's a lockdown in at least 3 Maine towns while hundreds of law enforcement officers look for Robert Card, a person of interest in last night's mass shooting in a bowling alley and a bar. Reports range from 15 to 22 people killed, with more than that injured.
Internal law enforcement communications reveal that Card is a firearms instructor. He's believed to have been in the Army Reserves, also suffering from mental health issues, hearing voices. He was committed and received some mental health care for 2 weeks over the summer.
Fox's Molly Line in Lewiston, Maine. The Israeli military has conducted an hours-long raid into Gaza ahead of an expected wider ground operation.
To destroy and target assets of Hamas in the surrounding areas, things that could potentially impede on a ground operation if that indeed develops and happens.
That's Israeli Defense Forces spokesman Peter Lerner on Fox and Friends. The Gaza Health Ministry, meantime, reports more than 7,000 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli strikes since October 7th. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Governor Pritzker proposing a plan to create a new state agency to house all early childhood programs and funding. The new unified agency designed to provide a more equitable, integrated, and holistic system of services for young children and families in the state of Illinois. Illinois Democrats looking to extend a controversial private school tax credit. House Democrats introduced a bill that would extend the Invest in Kids program by another 5 years. Program offers a 75% income tax credit to individuals and businesses that contribute to qualified scholarship granting organizations. Illinois Attorney General, part of a coalition of more than 30 states, that's suing the company that owns and operates Facebook and Instagram. Lawsuit accuses Meta of harmful business practices targeting children. Coalition says Meta designed its social media platforms to include features that exploit young users' psychological vulnerabilities, all to keep them using them longer. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana and vicinity. And this delightful spell of late October weather continues on, and seasonably mild to warm for the day today. A couple of late morning and more likely afternoon showers across the area. There'll be dry hours today, 76 for the high. Down tonight to 65 with a couple of showers around both early and late. Tomorrow windy and seasonably warm with variably cloudy skies as well, and a couple of showers and thunderstorms in the morning. More so tomorrow afternoon before the rains. Highs of 75, maybe even 80 just south of Champaign on a gusty south south wind. Turns much colder tomorrow night. Some showers, maybe even a thunderstorm early on, low down to 45. Clouds and a couple of showers by afternoon on Saturday with a high temperature up near 56. More rain Saturday night into Sunday. We're stuck in the 40s for highs on Sunday. Monday at 45 with a shower in the afternoon. A snowflake and then a sprinkle Tuesday at 43 for the high. Will be well down into the 20s both Tuesday and Wednesday morning. Highs 45 on about Wednesday, 52 on Thursday, back close to 60 late next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Peter Olchis, Greg Solier.
Here's what somebody recently said at Pards in Urbana. I was there just a few minutes, and somebody came up and asked if I needed help. And they were incredible, helped me find the size of boot I needed, and then I bought a second pair too. Everything was friendly, everything was excellent. Visit Pards in Urbana, 206 North Maple, between Main and University in Urbana. It's Pards Western Shop since 1968. Or go online and visit pards.com, pards.com.
Busey Bank, leading the way to your financial wellness. No matter where your financial journey begins, Pathways banking options at Busey are designed with your goals in mind. Busey Bank, building strong financial futures, one family, one street, one city at a time. Busey, your partner in building business and growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Does your home have those annoying outdoor spigots that leak and have no pressure? Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing can help. Install a new Woodford outdoor spigot so your gardens and flowers don't suffer in this summer heat. Make sure your home's outdoors look great and call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing at 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
And now, a brand new show called Smoke, where we help you with your grill and making the best meat ever. With award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstadt. Smoke in Tim's Grill. He's the best brisket maker ever. Smoke in Tim's Grill. And now award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstadt. Beautiful Hot Springs, Arkansas, getting ready to defend his championship last year when he was a perfect score in brisket. Gale Ferrick's Trucking, Dixie Choppers star pitmaster. Tim, how's the weather?
It is beautiful here. It's 74 and a slight breeze. Really nice morning.
So do you get a barbecue helmet on and start hitting it like you do in football? Let's go! Come on, let's go! You do anything like that?
Well, we've got the Outlaw 2860 Pro model sitting out here. It's all cleaned up, oiled up, ready to go, and we'll be loading it up about 6 o'clock in the morning and heading over to Pine Bluff.
Yeah, go from Hot Springs to Pine Bluff. How long a drive is that?
About an hour and a half.
Okay.
We're not far.
And all the guys that you beat that are on TV that have entourages, you beat them last year. Are they out to get you this year?
I don't know. I'd imagine there's a slight target on our back. They don't want some little guy from Terre Haute or Rosedale, Indiana coming in and whomping on them. But
I can teach you. I can teach you the art of reverse trash talking if you need it. I can help you. I will. You just go up to all of them and say, "Man, your equipment's so good. How do you never lose? You never overcook it. You're amazing. Could you sign this for me?" I just do the reverse trash talking. That's what I do. Just build them up.
I do a little thing called shigging in the barbecue world. That is secretly spying and stealing ideas. So I'll go up and talk to them and do a little shigging. So.
You must have worked for the Astros.
Yeah, that's right.
Or Michigan.
Or Michigan.
Yeah. Signals.
Yeah. All right, so in all seriousness, you're competing with what you're doing, brisket, ribs, chicken. Are you doing everything?
Yes, we'll do all 4 meats, turn them in a half hour apart. That's the hard part, getting 4 different meats ready to go that quick and a half hour apart.
So when Tim's competing sometimes, Johnny, he'll say, "Yeah, I had it at 214. It should have been 212." What?
Wow.
What? That's like a golfer taking a 7-iron and bending it around a tree.
It's a science.
It's unbelievable. So do you, I mean, seriously though, you have to have the right meat. Can you sleep or are you thinking about things?
No, I sleep.
Okay.
I've learned to sleep. That's why we cook hot and fast at these things.
Yeah.
I get up about 4 o'clock, light the fire. Meat starts going on at 5, and it goes from there. We're running between 300 and 315 degrees in the smoker.
Okay.
And
do you season the meat and do all kinds of? Is that part of it? And I'm in temperature and time and all of that. But how about the seasoning? Is that a big part of the whole thing?
Yes, when we arrive in the morning, they will inspect the meat to make sure it's raw and not seasoned, not injected. And we have some, when it's inspected on Friday morning, until we turn it in to get the flavor profile right.
Wow. Flavor profile. I've never put those words together in my life. Flavor profile. Yeah, honey, I'm going to make some hamburgers. I'm going to get the, what did you say? Flavor profile just right. I'm going to start using that. That'll really impress everybody. Okay, well, so Ned, and when will you know everything, the scoring? Is that Saturday?
Yes, Saturday at 5 o'clock, they have an awards ceremony on the stage at Pine Bluff Regional Park this year. They had to move it from the Saracen Casino because of construction. We'll know Saturday evening.
People must taste it, but how many judges they have and how much can they eat before they get full?
It's all blind judging, but how do they spit it out? How do they do that?
It's a double blind judging, and each one of your meats will go before 6 judges. They take the top 5 scores, throw the low score out, kind of like figure skating, and they total them up, and there's a multiplier attached to each score. There's appearance, taste, and tenderness.
Wow.
And
so if they put
if you get all 5 of them right, you get a 180.
And if you can, I mean, Johnny, this can be, if overall winner at this thing gets like $20,000. So it's not like just kicking it around. This is serious money. If they put Joey Chestnut on the hot dog eating contest on TV, why aren't you on ESPN, man?
Well, they did have some TV shows, and I think they're gearing up some other ones and running some, doing some others, but we're not near that caliber.
How many competitors are there with you against you?
There were 50 here last year, and from what I understand, they cut it off at 50, and any returning teams had first priority to get in. So that's what I'm expecting tomorrow.
6 judges.
It's just unbelievable. So I mean, that's just, and they're all good. It's like
they have a table of judges for every 6 teams. So
okay.
But no two of your meats ever get in front of the same set of judges.
Okay, that makes sense. That'll work.
Well,
I was going to say 6 guys. I mean, that's some big boys.
I think, Tim, what we need to do, one of these big ones is, we can do reverse trash talking, but we can also intimidate. And so what we would do is we would have people surrounding you, and you and Donna walk up, and there'll be flash bulbs. And who is that, man? Who's that? Wow, they must be good.
That would be harder on us than it would be on everybody else.
Well, and the blind judging kind of takes the advantage away.
That's true. They don't know which meat is yours. Can't put a flashball by yours, I guess.
You were there at the homecoming tailgate last weekend, and we had 100 people around, and that was very, very stressful for me.
Well, but you again. I went to Timmy at a private tailgate. It's one of those where I'm actually looking for him, but then, hey, look who's here! Hey, you got any extra? Hey, so and it was fall off the bone, which in competition, I guess, isn't what they're trying to do. But the flavor on your meat was crazy good, just fantastic, man.
Well, we had a real good time. Justin Harrison, the Illini great, him and his family came by. He's friends with he coached my son in college, and they came by and along with a lot of other people, and it was a lot of fun. And I guess the number one thing from that is cook it how your people want it. We can say this is what it should be. If the people like it, that's all that matters.
Okay, rooting for you, man.
Good luck.
It's a way to monitor. This should be online or something. We want to know the latest. Look, he turned the meat. What a good play. What a good play. I could do the announcing on it. Look at the focus. Look at the focus in his eyes. He really, it was a good play, Bob. It really was.
Oh, he's pulling out that thermometer now.
Look at that. The thermometer's reading perfectly. Anyway, hey, have fun and go get them. Let me know, and I'm excited for you, and I know you're going to do great.
We'll talk to you later, and I appreciate all the help. Thank
All
you.
right. Tim Onstott, Dixie Chopper, Gale Frericks Trucking. He and Donna are really, really good at
Our
it.
barbecuologist.
And you have barbecuologist Greg Solier coined. Donna, his wife, does that coleslaw. Puts something in it that's different.
Do they have a restaurant?
No.
No.
And he did a wedding as a favor, and that word got out.
Yeah.
And he's just not interested in that. He
gotcha.
just he's a really, really good guy, and he's really good.
The
at this.
reluctant caterer.
He doesn't want it. Anyway, I met his son TJ. He's a really good guy, and it was his client's tailgate that he got his dad to go cook at. He thought the brisket champion of the world got to go to your tailgate. That's a good deal. All right, it is 8:44.
Crossroads Contractor Supply specializes in the delivery of tools and supplies within a 150-mile radius of Champaign-Urbana. Reliable, timely, and with reasonable prices, Crossroads Contractor Supply knows what equipment and tools are needed for your job. Get the job done right with proper tools and equipment. Did something break? Construction materials, tools, as well as safety equipment, all available at Crossroads Contractor Supply. Visit crossroadscontractorsupplyil.com.
Always a pleasure to talk about Donnie up at Long Branch Steakhouse here in beautiful downtown Gifford. Well, you know what, friends? It's never too early to make your Christmas party reservations at the Long Branch Steakhouse in Gifford. They are taking party reservations for December. 2 nights already gone. Don't be left out this year. If you want a fabulous night at the Long Branch for your office party, get it done now. Connect with the Long Branch Steakhouse and book your Christmas party. Long Branch Steakhouse, beautiful downtown Gifford. By now, you've all heard the expression, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 for PDR Automotive. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. But who are they? They, the PDR staff, understand that a name is only as good as the people that represent it. The PDR staff has more than 335 years of combined automotive experience. Several employees now on staff for more than 25 years. PDR, more than just a name. Family owned and operated, now celebrating over 50 years in business. All right, check some sports headlines with Diane Ducey.
Well, let's see. Astros manager Dusty Baker is one of a dozen who have over 2,000 wins. First black manager to reach 2,183 wins, deciding to retire at the age of 74. Been in baseball since 1967.
I've never thought of Dusty as black. Is he black? Okay.
I'm just reading the stats that were on the story.
No, I know, but why is he? Again, I remember one time I had an actor on, and he happened to be black, and I said, he's one of the greatest actors going. He said, thank you for not saying black actor.
I see.
Because it doesn't. It's an American, man.
You got a good point.
But the story, I'm sure, says black man. Yeah, he is black. He's African American. Okay. I didn't honestly think about that. But
no, I mean, making the distinction over and over doesn't help us become colorblind.
Right.
There's no question.
How about the toothpick? If I refer to that, to me, I get the picture that it's Dusty because he always had that toothpick in his mouth.
A toothpick is obviously some sort of nervous thing that he always has a toothpick, but don't you poke yourself occasionally?
Now, did he win how many championships?
Right. I didn't jot all that down because it was extensive.
Yeah,
he's been with the Giants, the Cubs, the Reds, the Nationals, and of course his finale was with the Astros.
Yep. Well, if he has any hint in any way, shape, or form indicates that if he has a little more control, because the word in Houston was that, that wasn't his guys. He went in to give him a little respect and credibility because he took over a bunch of cheaters. and so, maybe he can build his own front office, or maybe he can. Anyway, I'm not so sure he could, because the way he was talking about, one of the top baseball reporters said he didn't really get along, or he wasn't his guys, kind of the right. So if somebody said, Dusty, what can I do for you to come here for 3 years? He's 74, but he's still got it.
Well, they sure did well this year.
Yeah,
I'm telling
that's
you. But
right.
I can't look at any of those guys and not think, why did you cheat when you're so good without it?
Well, and Dusty was part of that, right?
No.
The banging on the garbage can?
Dusty was nothing to do with that.
Oh.
He came in to clean it up.
Thank you.
The guy they fired him, but he got another job at Detroit Tigers.
I see.
None of the players got anything at all, and they cheated.
Well, I can tell you what, Altuve wasn't cheating, but he hit the 3-run homer.
But why were they doing all this stuff if they're that good? They didn't need to, but they hurt their brethren in the union by creaming them because they knew the pitch was coming. That's so unfair.
Apparently that wouldn't help me, but apparently that's a big advantage.
Hey, these guys, if they know it's a fastball on the inside, they just smoke it. They're so good. The only advantage is they don't know what's coming. Anyway.
World Series, Texas Rangers, Arizona Diamondbacks on Fox tomorrow at 7:03.
I mean, you got Bruce Bochy. He's the manager of Texas Rangers, and Bruce Bochy, won the World Series in 2010, 2012, 2014. He was with the Giants when they won those every other year thing. But he's fantastic. He's got to be 72. I mean, he's got to be right there.
Well, games tonight for NBA. 76ers at Milwaukee to face the Bucks for their opener. The Bulls went down yesterday. Oklahoma City on top 124-104. Io with 8 points in that game. And we had the Pacers beating the Washington Wizards 143-120. Now, you've been watching the Pelicans a little bit, and I saw Zion had 23 points.
Can anybody in the NBA guard Zion Williamson?
Not really. He's like one of those other big superstars. He's a different
kind of Shaq-like.
He's not that tall. He's 6'6".
6'6".
But he's quicker than most point guards, and he actually weighs 290.
But who can stop him around the basket?
Nobody.
He weighs how much?
290 pounds.
Okay, so he's a thick guy.
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean, he would just go in the lane and hurt a lot.
It's really that first step more so even because there's a lot of big guys, but man, there's none that can jump 45 inches.
45-inch vertical.
That's crazy.
For Zion Williamson.
Man, that's awesome.
Barack Obama, when he was president, was in the crowd at a Duke, North Carolina game, and Zion's shoe broke. And you could see Obama going, his shoe broke. And it came apart.
Oh, wow.
He slipped on the floor, and the shoe came from the sole.
Well, they weren't Air Jordans, I guess.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah. And someone had texted in, Kelly in Tolono, about Hunter Dickinson and why did he end up at Kansas.
I don't think he thought Michigan was going to win a title, and Kansas certainly can. They've won 2 with Bill Self. So, I mean, why don't you go to a team? It's, I think, Hunter's last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, no, actually, I agree with him. Bill Self has that profile, and he has the celebrity status.
Yeah.
Juwan Howard really doesn't. He's got notoriety.
Yeah.
But and he's from Michigan. I'm telling you what, I've got to work on that. I just and we beat him in football last year.
The guy took a knee with the ball down. Yeah.
You're down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but who remembers?
But Kansas.
I remember.
Is who we play on 5 o'clock on
5 o'clock Sunday. There'll be a lot of people there. Will they have their Maui gear on from game day?
Right.
But it'll be, I hope they raise millions for Maui. It is so devastating to see images of Maui. Unbelievable. So, go Illini, see how you stack up against the preseason number 1, Kansas. It'll be fun kind of to see where we are. Can we play toe-to-toe with the number 1 team? We're ranked 25. And, we will see. All right, we're going to check Greg's weather one more time.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity, and this delightfully mild to warm, unusual October weather pattern continues on, and with that significant rainfall heading towards the upcoming weekend and a big drop in temperatures as well. We'll keep it largely chilly to cold here for much of next week, but a drier trend than moderation in temperatures thereafter. Windy and warm for Thursday, considerable cloudiness up to 76 and a couple of late morning and afternoon showers around. South wind will be gusty, breezy, mild tonight. Occasional showers early and late, low down to 65. Windy, continued and seasonably warm for the day tomorrow with a couple of showers and thunderstorms morning and more so in the afternoon. Highs between 75 and maybe 80 south of Champaign County, and a south wind turns much colder with evening showers tomorrow night. A thunderstorm early, low down to 45, and showers are back in for Saturday afternoon. The high just 56. Will be in the 40s much of Sunday with rain, and even a snowflake come Tuesday morning with cold weather into early next week with highs in the 40s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Whether your regular beauty counter has disappeared or you want a beauty refresh, then it's time to visit Merle Norman. Beautiful changes happen every day at Merle Norman. Whether you have a special event coming up or you're just in the mood for something new, you can depend on Merle Norman Cosmetics to satisfy all your beauty needs. From advanced skincare solutions to the latest looks and color, we're locally owned and ready to help you with expert guidance and award-winning products. No wonder we've been the go-to brand for millions of women since 1931. Visit us today at 706 West Market View Drive over by Subway.
Okay, Okay, so we're in Thursday. We get to Friday. No football this weekend. Basketball Sunday. World Series starts. We'll keep tracking the horrific events in Maine. Maybe we'll catch this guy. They're calling him a person of interest, but there was just no hiding his face. I mean, he was totally clear on camera. They had a great picture of him. So trying to get this guy corralled might not be easy. He's an Army reservist that obviously teaches weapons. And
well, on the other hand, I can't imagine the number of people looking for. I don't know.
Oh boy!
Where he can
and there's
hide.
a little bit of a lockdown situation in Maine.
They don't want people to go out, but
Right.
people in Maine, I'm sure, a lot exercising their Second Amendment right in Maine. So, but no, it's just horrific. And then we're watching Gaza as we had an incursion from Israel's ground forces. Whether it's the start of the ground operation or not, we're not sure. That's a big story. And then Mike Johnson has just faded away into the headlines because he's the new Speaker of the House. Yes, the Republicans coalesced around somebody.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean they can't end that real fast.
They got it done.
Check one person off, they can vote, and all the Democrats will vote against him. So
Well, and really, if he's not getting a lot of coverage, that's also a sign he might be a pretty good guy.
Yeah, right.
don't want to know that.
You know, the opposition research is in high gear for that guy.
No kidding.
Oh, find something on him.
That's right.
Find something on this guy.
Well, then just make it up.
Yeah. And so we'll continue. And again, trick or treating is Tuesday. It's going to be
That's
colder. Right. So look at this lineup of trailers that are coming into Philo.
Okay.
There's a boat. There's a trailer. Downtown Philo is kind of busy.
It
and the
is.
lighting of the tree later in November
will be the Sunday after Thanksgiving.
Well, I
Is
wonder
it?
if we've
Or is it
identified
earlier? I thought I heard it was a little earlier. We'll see.
the tree. Have they?
They've got a big tree.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's as big as last year.
Well, and there's a parade, the Christmas parade.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's
still
all
going.
coming. Well, that hasn't actually officially been proved, but I think there is one on the horizon.
The Disability Resource Expo at Marketplace Mall from 11 to 4 on Saturday.
Yep. Okay. Thank you, Diane.
Enjoy the day.
Thank you, Johnny. Always
All
a
right,
pleasure.
everybody.
All right,
We'll
folks.
see you tomorrow.
Thank you for listening on ESPN 93.5. The boys on the drive this afternoon. It's Lonte and Derek Piper. If you ever want to hear a show on theirs or ours, it's all available at StevieJay.com, and you can go and listen that way. Okay. This is WSJK Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana. We'll get ESPN coming up next. Thank you for listening. Have yourself a fantastic Thursday.
Every year on November 11th, the United States of America proudly celebrates Veterans Day. And in Muhammad Christian Church, we are very grateful for the men and the women who protect and preserve our freedom, and we recognize all veterans and salute our armed forces every day of the year. And this year, allow us to make those days special as we present the Muhammad Christian Church 18th Annual Living Flag. And you are cordially invited to join us as we are celebrating life, liberty, and the freedom of worship with our award-winning Living Flag celebration. This year, we are presenting our Living Flag on Friday, November 3rd at 7 p.m., Saturday, November 4th at 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock, and our finale, Sunday, November 5th at 5 p.m. And in our lobby after each performance, as you greet and thank our veterans and our active military, we will be serving dessert and refreshments. Muhammad Christian Church, 908 North Lake of the Woods Road, across from the Lake of the Woods Golf Course. And for more information, please visit muhammadchristian.org.
When Ross went out, I always told him, be careful. And that was the last time I got to see him.
Because someone didn't slow down and move over. Ross had on a bright orange shirt with reflective stripes the night he was killed.
He always had that smile. He just lit up the room when he came in.
Slow down and move over when you see flashing lights. Everybody is somebody.
When you see lights flashing, use caution passing. Let's all go home safe tonight.
Illini fans, for a limited time at Jet's Pizza, new popcorn chicken pizzas. Their tasty popcorn chicken on their famous BBQ, Aloha BBQ, Buffalo Ranch, or Bacon Ranch pizzas. It's new and a limited time offer, so don't miss out. Try any of the four for just $17.99. Code BBQ. Their popcorn chicken pizzas are perfect to order while watching football with friends and family. Try their tasty popcorn chicken on their famous BBQ, Aloha BBQ, Buffalo Ranch, or Bacon Ranch pizzas. Just $17.99. Code BBQ. Jets, better because it has to be.
Frasca International in Urbana is a legacy founded in 1958 by aviation pioneer Rudy Frasca with a mission of improving safety in the skies. Would you like to make a difference in your job? Frasca is looking for an accountant, a CNC machinist, manufacturing and electrical engineer, and customer service support. Positions for software, aeronautical, mechanical engineer, and machine shop finisher are also available. Positions include an extraordinary benefits package. As an equal opportunity employer, you can learn more at frasca.com/careers.
Illini fans, gear up for the football season this year with the official fan store of the Fighting Illini, Game Day Spirit. Get ready to support your Fighting Illini by shopping their great selection of Illini football merchandise, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, even brand new Nike replica jerseys. Shop with them at the corner of Neal and Kirby in Champaign, 6th and Green in Campustown, or online 24/7 at GameDaySpirit.com. Game Day Spirit, where Illini fans shop.
Carpet Weavers is flooring their customers. They work with the biggest brands to bring you the best selections and prices on hardwood, luxury tile, carpet, and more. Stop in at 616 West Market View Drive in Champaign and let one of their sales associates help you find the perfect flooring for your lifestyle. Their 100% satisfaction guarantee allows you to be confident in your purchase. Carpet Weavers has been flooring people with beautiful carpet and flooring since 1988. In fact, they're nationally ranked as one of the top 25 specialty flooring stores in the country. Find out more online at carpetweaversflooring.com.
Crystal Lake Park Family Aquatic Center is now open. Open swim weekdays from 12:30 to 7 and weekend hours are 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Lap swim weekdays. Admission $8 for residents, $12 for non-residents. Buy punch cards for a discount on your admission. Stay cool at the pool this summer. Rent the pool for parties. Call the pool for more information at 217-239-7946 or visit online urbanaparks.org.
Make plans to pop into Pia's at 1609 West Springfield Avenue for happy hour from 3 to 6, Monday through Friday with 16-ounce drafts, just $3.25. Well drinks, $4. Taco Tuesdays, get you big tacos for $2.50. $2 off on tequila shots and margaritas, $5. Get Mexican beers for $4 each. Go south of the border on Tuesdays at Pia's. Then there's Whiskey Wednesdays and karaoke a few times